I think Albert Schweitzer is an example of one of those, wonderful leaders in the world who a lot of folks don't know about. I mean, I think a lot of people actually confuse him with Albert Einstein. They look a little similar, they've done some similar things, and they had that similar vibe during that time. Most folks, I think, in their 20s and 30s don't have a lot of experience with knowing who Albert Schweitzer was. And I will freely admit, when I applied to the Albert Schweitzer Fellowship, I didn't know much about him. I didn't know where he came from, what his worldview was, how that related to me. And it was through the fellowship that I learned and saw that his reverence for life is something that I have as a part of me.
Through the fellowship, I learned more about his philosophy, and even the quote about making his life his argument. That, for me, resonates a lot in that I've taken a lot of my own personal experiences and I've been able to tie that in to my life's work. My training, formal training's in public health. I'm not a clinician. I work really on the ground and trying to connect systems. And so a lot of what I've understood through the fellowship experience allowed me to not only frame a concrete project in Chicago, but it's also connected with other fellowship and training opportunities and academic coursework that I've had over the years.
For me, being a fellow for life was just such a natural transition from being a fellow, because it's really about dedicating your life to service, and whatever that may be, whether that's through your professional career choice or what you do in your free time.
I think I was always looking for some place to be connected to, some sort of community, and I think that concept was just solidified by the fellowship and reading about what Dr. Schweitzer did for 50 years.
To be able to look to someone who spent their lives the way that Dr. Schweitzer did, and serving and going out of his comfort zone in a major way to go to Africa and serve, especially during times of war, things like that. It just lets you know that you can overcome the obstacles that come in life, and that service to others is enough. If you can, again, connect with other fellows and connect with other like-minded people, it's enough to keep inspiring you when the challenges seem like they're too overwhelming.
You meet all of these people, and there's just, inevitably every hour there's going to be somebody who really sort of knocks your socks off, because they say this thing. They'll say, yeah, I've just been really busy and I haven't got much done. All I've done was make sure all these orphans get fed. Somebody just blows you away with the things that they've either accomplished or just the kind of insane drive they have to do good.
But the reason why I specifically wanted to do the Schweitzer Fellowship was to be able to have the relationships with people both, in other medical schools and people in health ally fields that aren't just medical students. And then for this opportunity to be able to continue on and both be a mentor to students and continue to be in touch with colleagues and peers, doing really great things in the community. And I think that it fulfilled all of those goals, above and beyond what I would have hoped for.
Being a Fellow for Life means that I don't have to stop here, that my life goes on, my work goes on. If I don't have time this year, or if I just sneak in a little something working with medical students or encouraging someone to apply for the Urban Fellowship, then maybe when I'm older, maybe when I retire, I could do even more. So it's actually rejuvenating.
I've always believed that if you learn something, it's your duty to pass it along. If you have a skill that you can use, you should really put it to good use, and that's what brought me into medicine in the first place. So even through college, this was something that was very central to what I wanted to do. And people have opportunities. You make choices everywhere, every day in your life. You make choices, and some of them can really affect other people. And if it can be for the better, even a little bit, that's the goal.
Some of us are in medicine, some of us are in, social works. And I think in that way, I think when you come to something like this, you are able to put sort of the pieces together and say, oh, okay, this is the framework in which all of us sort of start from and where will go on together.
One of the African proverbs talks about it takes a village to raise a child, and so I think that it takes this village of fellows to really heal this nation. I think that the way the program is now, it started out as an international fellowship, but it's really been crafted into this sort of domestic Peace Corps.
I think for me, one of the reasons I really wanted to be a part of this was just hearing this sort of camaraderie that there is as part of that fellowship. So often when you're looking at doing service, you feel a bit isolated, or you're in your degree program, or you're working in the workforce, and there might not be a lot of opportunities for that type of feedback or that type of communication with people. So the fellowship not only provided a forum for that, but also such wonderful mentors and people to learn from moving forward.